In this video I'll be going over how to build a custom button box you can use for your PC games like Euro Truck Simulator 2. Now there are a few things you'll need, which are a project box. Now this should be big enough to house all of your components. You'll need a variety of buttons and switches. You can also add some of your own custom things like a rotary switch or an ignition switch just to add to the realism. You'll need a zero delay USB encoder, link to that can be found in the video description. You'll need a drill and a set of drill bits, and you'll need a screwdriver. Now the zero delay USB encoder is the heart of the build. This is essentially what controls the buttons and switches and relays that information to the PC. Now inside of the box you get the board itself, a USB cable and some spade connectors. Now the good thing about these spade connectors is that it requires zero soldering, so it's pretty much just plugging it onto the terminals and you're ready to go. This is especially great for me since I have very limited soldering knowledge. Alright, first things first, you need to plan out how you're going to lay out the buttons on your box, because once you start drilling there's no going back, so it's best to plan out before you start. Now once you're happy with the layout, it's time for drilling. Now make sure you are 100% happy though, like as I said, once you start drilling you can't go back. And I did make a small mistake with mine, which I was able to correct a bit, but again, like I said, make sure you're 100% satisfied that that's what you want. Now make sure your holes are big enough for your buttons and switches, and once you've got them drilled, then it's time to wire everything up. Now wiring everything up is pretty simple with the included spade connectors. All you have to do is connect it to the terminals on the actual switch and then plug them into the top row on the USB encoder. So the top row is for all the buttons and switches, and the ones along the sides are for joystick inputs if you want to use them. Now once you've got all that done, don't screw everything back in yet. Just make sure all your buttons and switches work as they should do. So you can do this either by going to Windows and searching for the controller options, which you will then get a dialog box which basically shows you each switch and if it works or not when you press it. There's also some online alternatives you can use, which I'll leave links to in the description. So once you know everything works, you can screw it back up and you're ready to try it out and see if it works. Now it's quite easy to get set up in Euro Truck Simulator 2. All you really need to do is go into the settings, go to keys and buttons and just map everything to that button box. But once you're done, enjoy, and that is your box.